So today's topic is about publishing. The model wants to get published, the photographer wants to get published, but guess what? Neither one of them are making any money. That's what I find intriguing about publishing. A big part about the mainstream publishing, I'm not saying magazines don't ever pay, because they do, but you're only getting paid if you're dealing with actual Vogue and actual Elle. And there's a reason I say actual, because some of what you'll see on social media when it comes to Instagram or Facebook, or when somebody says, hey, I got published in Vogue, it's Vogue Italia. Well, that's not Vogue. Not saying that it can't be a reputable magazine, but what they did was they took a spin off of something that you recognize and then they made it theirs. You actually see a lot of that even with Playboy. Like there's Playboy Mexico and Playboy, other places. And people will pay to be on the cover. I had started doing photography when I was a teenager. I gave it up like 15, 16, 17 years ago. It just, life happened. There wasn't any time for a hobby. And it can be an expensive hobby if you're not careful. When I started doing this, everybody's like, oh, you should get your work published. You should get your work published. I'm like, who wants to put my work in their magazine? That was my initial thought. And then my very first publication, I got a cover. Now, let's back into that just a little bit. It was a small magazine. It was a decent photo. Is it my best photo? No, because I was still learning how to edit at that point in time. And I did what a lot of people do. You take all the clarity down, you take it down to all this softness so that you can be a lazy editor, if you will, before I started trying to teach myself how to do actual retouching. I was thankful that I got the cover, and it was super exciting at the time. And I think that year I got published like 20, 25 times, something like that. I might have gotten up to 30, I don't remember. But what I realized is I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it wasn't gaining me anything. And not that I fully look at life from that, but I look at the fact that time is spent. So time is just as valuable as money. Why do I keep submitting to a magazine that's making money, but I'm not making money from the magazine? Some people will argue, oh, well, people see you, they see that you're legit. But do they? I don't think that I got anybody reaching out to me because they saw my work on a social media post about being published. I don't think I got anything from that. Because Caviar was what I used to be able to find magazines to publish to, because it's a little bit easier because it's like one consolidated place. And Caviar is really nice because they also give you the option for a portfolio, especially if you're a pro or elite. And then they give you a place to showcase your work so that publications can see you and they can follow you and they can follow your work. So that is nice. Then you at least have exposure to people who are in the industry, because you don't know who you're going to meet by dealing with the magazines directly or dealing with somebody from the magazine directly, as opposed to just being, photos that you submitted and they're like, oh, those are cool. They're not horrible. We'll toss them in. I have all the digital publications. I bought the digital magazine. I never bought any of the publications because I don't like clutter. But the one experience that I can definitely share, because I was floored by it when it happened. The magazine came back to me. They're like, oh, we really like your photos. We want to put it on the cover. Normally it's 125, but right now we'll do it for 80 for you. No, I'm good. I can't recoup that cost. But thank you. I'm glad you think that my work was that great that you want to put it on a cover. But that's how the magazine is making money and getting through the process of what they're doing is they're charging people to be in the magazine. So you're just paying to be published somewhere, but it's not getting you results, because I don't want to keep coming back to the fact that it's not getting you something, but it's really the fact that it's not really getting you results. It's great that it was printed, but you could have done that for yourself. You could have made yourself a book and then sold your book. That's an option. You could have sold prints, whatever it is that you want to do. But if you want to get published, go for it. If that's what makes you happy, go for it. Just know that there are other ways that you can do it so people can see your work. Don't be too disappointed if your photos aren't accepted for publication. If you have more questions on publication, I'm happy to help with that. I can also do a review on Caviar because it is still a very good website, and there is something that they can offer. But publishing nowadays, unless you're working for a high-end magazine that everybody knows, it's not really getting published or working. It's just tossing your work out there for somebody else to make money off of. Take from that what you will. Thanks for watching.